Hello. Here we are again, trying hard to stay online. One never knows what's going to happen, does one? We shall hope for the best. Hope for the best. And expect the worst. Oh, God, my teeth look yellow. I've got to go to the dentist. I'll be getting told off by that woman again for having gungy teeth, won't I? I can't help it. It's the drugs I'm on. And I don't mean, them kind of drugs, not the funny ones. I mean the ones I take medicinally prescribed. Oh, dearie me. Well, it's all quiet today. No dogs, no anybody. It's all quiet in the house today. Oh, dear. Let's have a adjust of the camera. Hi, Connie. Not too bad. Cold, but not too bad. Otherwise, clogging on, as we do, as we say. Hi, Crafting It So. Hello there. Oh, well, we're remembered. Hi, Nathan. We're remembered down today. Linda's in hospital. She's got a clot on her lungs. Ooh, sounds a bit grim, doesn't it? She's been battling a chest infection for a couple of weeks. Anyway, she's in hospital at the moment, so her internet's not good, so I doubt she will be joining us unless she manages to sneak on and say hello. Yeah. I finished my socks, by the way. I can't show them you because I've washed them and I've just realised they're in the other room drying. But I did finish them. I haven't done a stitch on my jumper. I haven't done a stitch on my cardigan. Not a stitch. I've just been saying, you're poorly, you're in hospital. And there you are, you've sneaked in. Hope you're feeling a bit better. Hope they release you. Hi, Lizzie. What am I making? I'm making a cardigan, Connie. The same one I've been making for about the last 3 weeks. I haven't done anything. I have been reading today, and I'm nearly at the end of my book, and it's thrilling. It's by Anne Cleeves. She writes the Vera and the Shetland novels. But this one's different. It's called The Long Call. You're knitting your socks and you're waiting for your supper, are you, Linda? Right, okie dokie. I always have to take something with me whenever I'm in hospital. It's usually my crochet. I can't bear to sit and do nothing. But actually, I've been sat reading today. You know, when you get really into a book, I don't know whether you do, you get so wrapped up in it. In fact, I was so wrapped up in it, I almost forgot to come on here. Because I was thinking, I'm right near the end. I've got a few pages left to read, and I still don't know who done it. That's the sign of a good book, isn't it, when you haven't guessed? When you haven't guessed who's done it by the last chapter. But she's certainly a good writer, Anne Cleeves. As I said, she writes Shetland and she writes Vera. If you're in America, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about. But if you're in the UK, you've probably watched them. No, this is about a new character. It's not about Vera and it's not about Jimmy Perez. But it is a detective, yeah. I was just wondering what I could smell. I've got a vanilla candle burning. Hi, Sean. Hello. I wonder what you're going to have for your supper, or have you already chosen it, Linda? They don't give you much options, do they? And when it comes, it's like, oh, really? Unless it's improved since I was last in hospital. The last time I was in hospital, it was that dreadful. I had to get my family to bring me sandwiches in. Hi, Munchkin. Otherwise, I would have starved because the food was absolutely appalling. Somebody had said to me, tell them that you're vegetarian. and you get better choices. I'll have to remember that next time. Because the stews and stuff like that are absolutely terrible. Well, they were in Salford Royal anyway, unless they've improved the chef. Oh, you're having tea and toast. Yeah, you tend to look like a bit of toast when you've been in hospital in the UK, because that's usually all what they offer you. It's the same with breakfast. You used to get porridge, you used to get boiled eggs. When I was last in hospital, you got cereal and toast, and that was it. Oh, a bit of jam. That was your lot, yeah. Considering I was diabetic, well, they shouldn't have even given me the jam, should they? But I'd just kept my mouth shut because I thought, oh, I can't eat the toast without a bit of jam on it. Otherwise, I'd have took the jam off me, wouldn't they? And I'd have had dry toast because they scrape margarine. If you know you're going in hospital, take some pats of butter with you. Take some food with you. Biscuits. Because there's now you don't get my mum went in privately. Oh my goodness, the menu was gorgeous. But it's the same thing that you get what you paid for. Bred in captivity. Oh dear. Yeah, thumbs up. There's only 8 thumbs up, please. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, press the notification bell. I might as well say it. Everybody else does. Yeah, everybody else does. Tell all your friends. I was laughing at somebody I won't name, but they've just become monetized, and they're going, oh, I'm loving to be monetized and I can buy some new equipment. I've been monetized for about the last 8 years and I have never earned enough to buy any kind of equipment. I have certainly never, ever earned enough to buy myself a PC or even a camera. If I'd have saved it up over the whole year, I might have earned enough to buy a very cheap camera. But that's about it, really. Well, I'm a year older since you saw me last. Do I look it? I've got bags under the eyes, probably, yeah. Oh, I was so glad you do the thumbs up, Crafting It So and Connie. Yeah, everybody. Oh, it's gone up to 12 now. That's a bit better. People think it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't monetary wise. It makes no difference whatsoever. And it costs nothing to subscribe, by the way, just in case you're thinking you have to pay. But it does help to keep my profile and let YouTube know I'm around, if you know what I mean. The more thumbs up you get, the more comments you get, the more YouTube goes, aha, there she is. She's still there. But if you don't get any thumbs up and you don't get any comments, YouTube tends to slide over you. And therefore you don't get the advertising revenue and then you don't get any money, which is what happens to me. I shall never be rich, I've decided. I do the lottery. But as usual, the most I ever win is another lucky dip for next week. I guess I haven't got, as the gypsies would say, you haven't got a lucky face. Cross my palm with silver, you've got a lucky face. Yeah, right. Buy a bit of lace, you've got a lucky face. They used to come to the door when I was a kid, buy a sprig of lucky white heather. My dad used to say to my mother, will you stop buying rubbish at the door? Since when have we ever had any good luck with you buying bits of heather at the door? I have Val, you back. Val's been to Weymouth. I'm still making the cardigan I've been making for the last 3 weeks, Sian, and it's in chunky, so I've got no excuse for not having done more. But I have been knitting socks. I finished them, by the way. They are not a pair. They are not even the same size, but I'm so proud that I've actually made a pair, because I've not made any socks for about 12 or 15 years. And I didn't like the pattern I was using. I kept going wrong. I can't find the pattern that we tried and tested pattern. I can't find it. Anyway, I've been given a different pattern. Oh yeah, you see, you could have said hi to Shan. She was on a whistle stop coach trip to Weymouth, weren't you, Val? I'm only jealous because I've not done a whistle stop. I've only been to Cleveland. You finished your Rani and Carlos stocking. Denise has finished hers, and well, I think she's got to do the heel. And what's she called? Not Crafty Clegg, the other one. Oh, Davina. She's finished hers, hasn't she? You're still struggling with rabbits. Are they breeding? I must admit, Denise's didn't look very Christmassy, did it? I think it's the colour she chose. Like pinks and purples is not very Christmassy. I mean, I think Davina's at least looks Christmassy because it was red and green and white, wasn't it? But if it was supposed to be a Christmas stocking that you were to put something in it, it didn't look wide enough to me. I suppose you could make two, couldn't you, and wear them inside your boots. But it's been cold. Oh my goodness, has it been cold? Sian's been busy getting her cavities looked at, and I don't mean her teeth. Oh dear. I've never met anybody really. About 3 people have stopped me when I've been at knit shows. Yeah. And said, are you Jan? But that was a while ago. But I've never really, apart from local people, when I was in Manchester, I met the local ones when I was there. Or when I did meet Claire, obviously from Australia. Yeah. And I met Zoe from London. But apart from that, I've not really met anybody, really. Oh, I met Hayley. Yeah, Hayley from Scotland. I have met a few people, but not recently. I've only met the local ones. And I won't be meeting you on Wednesday, Val, because there's no meeting. Oh no, we're meeting this Wednesday, aren't we? It's my other knit club that's not meeting this Wednesday. My daytime one isn't meeting on Wednesday because they've gone out to a Christmas dinner. Well, the lady who runs it's gone out and has the keys. It does help if somebody's got the keys, doesn't it? She's going out Christmas dinner, so I don't need to go to Cleveland's on Wednesday, although I need to go and get some food, so I'll probably go down tomorrow, maybe. I was going to go today, but I was doing my washing and doing my bedding and doing everything like that, so the day just got away from me. By the time you've done 3 lots of washing, the day's gone away from you, hasn't it? When I met you, Linda, I did. I met Linda from Scotland. But apart from that, my bucket list is a cruise. Never going to happen unless I win the lottery, which it's never going to happen. Go on a crochet retreat. Never going to happen. Too expensive. Never going to happen. Unless they hold one in, Cleveland's. Oh dear. So Val will have to organise a crochet retreat. I don't know where people will stay, but That's by the by, innit? We'll think about that at the time. Everywhere costs so much. I don't mean one of these where they have courses and you pay, like 60 quid to learn how to do something you already know how to do, which is what seems to happen at these festivals. Most people that I know who've been to these learn how to do blah de blah de blah at these festivals all come away thinking they've been fleeced. You've got an old man on the wall. Stop flirting, Linda. I know what you like. I know what you like. I get told off when I'm out. My friend says to me, "You're flirting again, you're flirting." I said, "I'm not, I'm talking to the dog." She said, "Yeah, but why is the dog always attached to a man?" I don't know. I guess I'm just like that. She said, "You don't talk to dogs when they're attached to women. You only talk to dogs when they're attached to a man." Really? Maybe more men walk dogs than women. You find that it's usually a man walks a dog or a couple walks a dog. It's not very often a woman walks a dog on her own. Not around here, anyway. Well, I don't want anybody. Not that way. Unless they've got a car willing to take me places and they're a handyman. But as for anything else, no, not interested. A handy woman would be fine, Anybody who can knock a nail in. Fine. Actually, this book I'm reading, it was a woman dog walker that's found the dead body. I'm not giving anything away because it's right in at the beginning of the first chapter. But it's called The Long Call. It's by Anne Cleeves, and I've really, really enjoyed it. If you like murder mysteries, it's not too gory or anything like that. But I got it. I buy a lot of books second hand, obviously. I either get them at the church where I go to knit club, or I get them at Larkholm where I go to do my knit club, or I buy them from Awesome Books, which sell books for about £2 something, post free. So I'm definitely not in the market for paying like £8 and £9 for a book. I don't have that kind of money because I read them too quick. I know I should join the library, but I just haven't. I just never bothered to join the library. I don't know why I never have, but I just never have. I should do because I go there every Monday. I could change them every Monday. But I'm just that intent on getting home before it goes dark, to be quite truthful. I mean, we went out on the other week. My friend couldn't see a thing because she pulled her hood up, so she was like blinkered. So she crashed in the back of my scooter. Radio drama murders called the Charles Paris Mystery. Bill Nye. Oh, I must look out for them. I tend to fall asleep. You keep seeing Anne Cleeves. She's a good writer. I go to sleep, listening to the things on YouTube, the little short stories. And I never get to the end of them because I've always fallen asleep. But sometimes it wakes me up because it's gone on to the next one. But then I miss the end, and then I can never remember which one I was listening to. And I'm like, what was I listening to? What was it called? So I've done half or three quarters of so many short stories. It's untrue. You keep seeing Anne Cleeves, do you? Yeah, she's good. I was thrilled to bits because I'd never watched any of Shetland. And then I found them on my telly. So I watched all these Shetland ones, and I was so sad when it came to an end because he'd given up doing it, hadn't he? The actor who played Jimmy Perez, he gave up doing it. And I was like, I love it when I find things I've not seen. I hate it when I see, oh, Vera's on the telly. Oh, God, I've seen it 3 times already. The other day I found Murder in Provence. Shetland, it's probably on catch-up now because it's not on the channels anymore, Shetland. I don't think, anyway. I've only found it on the YouTube catch-ups or whatever it is, some catch-up I've watched it on. It's not on the normal channels anymore. It's a few years since it finished, but I hadn't watched any of them for some unknown reason. Yeah, I fall asleep listening to audiobooks, but I can't remember which one I was listening to. That's the problem. Right, I don't want to do 2 of the same front. Now I need to... Meds time. Oh, you handing them out to anybody else, or are they just yours? Linda's getting meds. Put your hand out if you want a pill. Right, I need to cast off at this edge. Right, okay. Have you ever done everything? Done it all and then discover you've made 2 left fronts? Or 2 right fronts? The lady at Knit Club did that the other day. This is the right front, right. Cast off. What size am I doing? I've forgotten already. Do you know, this is the trouble when you leave things, isn't it? You forget what you're doing. I think it's the second size I'm doing. Maybe if I count my stitches. 2, 4, 6, 22, 24, 32, 34, 36. Hi, Esther. 36. Yeah, I'm doing the second size. Thought I was. I thought I was. Right, cast off 4 stitches. Then I get to do the sleeves. Woo-wee. And I don't know what I've done with the other needles. Oh, there they are. Maybe big needles. Oh, my hand is still killing me. That's why I've not been doing much knitting. I've tried to do my socks, but they've really been hurting my hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast off 4 stitches, knit to the end. Can do that. Can do that. I've never worn this jacket. I must have made it about 15 years ago. Never worn it. It's meant to be like a coat. It's long. It's got a big collar on. And I made loads of them for other people. Turned this big collar into a hood on most of them. I must have made about 6. Sold them all. But this one I kept. And everybody wanted me to get the wool again, but it was wool. And I got a real bargain. I got it off eBay. And when I looked it up, if I could have got it, it was £11 a ball. £11. And I got the full pack for about 12 quid. Something like that. 12 or £15. I got the full pack. But it was £11 a ball. And anyway, they don't do this. It's called Parrot, by the way, as you can probably gather. Oh, you only had 1 antibiotic. That's a bit of a letdown. You must be on the mend if they've only given you 1. Yeah, it was a bargain. I did manage to get some more. I've got some more in the shed, but it's brown. Horrible dark brown. So I don't think I'll be making one for myself in it. But everybody loved this jacket. It's a full-length jacket. It's got toddles on it. Made one for my niece, and I sold about 4 or 5 of them actually. That's when I could sell things on Etsy before it got stupid, you know. Before they started being greedy. I watched another video about it the other day, about all the hidden charges that they charge you that you don't realise, you know. You think you're only paying so much commission. I went off it when I sold a baby outfit, and they made more profit than I did. I thought this is just stupid. Because you can't put your prices up to cover all these kind of, you know, and then they take the commission out your postage as well, which is stupid. So, like, if I was selling something for £60 and it was costing me £30 to post it to America, they were taking their commission out of £90, which meant it wasn't worth me making it. I would have had to put my price up from £60 to £70, say, for example, which meant that you're pricing yourself out of the market and nobody wants to buy it then. So I just gave up. Hi, Gloria. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the things I have in my shed. I should be leaving them in my will by the look of it. Knit 2, slip 1, knit 1, pass the slip stitch over. Oh, the kids downstairs. Oh, dear. That's one thing with being detached. You don't get the racket from anybody. We're very quiet here. Mind you, I was very quiet, really, when I was in outside. I had kids next door, but they went to bed quite early because they were only young. I mean, I don't know what they're like now. Because what I've been gone 4 years now, they'd probably be about 12 now, something like that. Oh, yeah, I had that next door. She used to go out and leave them. Reported it to social services many, many times. Did they do anything? No. They said they're well looked after. They're clean and tidy. The house is nice. Depends what you mean by nice. And she says she doesn't leave them. She says there's a babysitter in with them. I said there isn't. There's nobody there. The kids are going, nah, 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 nah. I said to her, if you are in, then why don't you answer your children when they're shouting for you? And they're screaming for you and they're crying for you. Why don't you answer them? So she said, oh, they do that. I thought, yeah, they do that because you're not in. I used to see her leaving in a taxi. Excuse me, social services, you calling me a liar? She'd be there all glamorised up out for hours on end, leaving the babies on the road. There were only babies at the time. But no, social services didn't do anything. So in the end, I gave up. I used to put my music on so I wouldn't hear them screaming. I used to scream for hours and hours and hours on end. You can put up with crying, but screaming. Hey. She's probably on her phone or on the computer. That's what they do. There was one the other day. We went out to the Affinity and they had all this Christmas bunting and everything. And there was a woman walked past with 2 little boys on her phone, yab, 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 yab. And these kids were ripping at the bunting, trying to tear it all down. She took not one bit of notice of them. She just carried on walking. And these kids were intent on destroying this bunting. Ah, dear. They don't keep their eye on them. God, I knew where my son was when he was that age. He was there. I knew where he was. Andy was on a lead. These young mums, they're not dogs. They don't go on a lead. Yeah, well, that's okay. If they dash across the road and get killed, then that's whose fault's that then? The driver. My son was like whip it quick. He was like Linford Christie. 1 minute he's holding your hand, next minute, poof, gone. You'd have thought his hands were greased with butter because he used to slide out of my hand and go. So that's why he was on a lead. He was on reins. It was a very quiet birthday. Thank you for asking. Very quiet. I never really have riotous birthdays. Maybe next year, because I'll be 80 next year. Maybe I'll have a party if I do it myself. It was very quiet. Yeah, I'll take myself out next year and have a party on my own. You coming, Val? You coming next year? No, Val will be on her holidays. She's always away on her holidays. I've got my cards up. You can see my cards. Can't think what I had. I didn't even have a birthday tea. Oh yeah, itching for stitching, I Enid. Oh, quite indigestion. You took your mum out and got told off for not treating yourself to more yarn. I'm being good. I did buy one ball because I found a pattern for some double knitted socks, and everything I had was acrylic. So I got a ball from the West Yorkshire Spinners from the Naked Sheep. I got one ball. I asked her if she had any wool for socks, and she showed me this ball of wool that was like 12 quid. I went, nah, it's a bit out of my price range. Anyway, I got a West Yorkshire Spinners one for £5.99, which is still a lot for a pair of socks, really, isn't it? But I'm just not in the mood for knitting big things, says she, knitting a cardigan, but you know what I mean. I don't want to buy a pile of wool. And you know when you've gone off what you've already bought, I look at it and think, no, I don't really want any of that. But I'm not buying any more. I'm not adding to my stash. I need to fall in love with what I've got. I will, it's just I'm in that kind of mood. So I'm knitting socks at the minute. Don't know why, because I very rarely wear them, but I'm knitting socks at the moment. It's just something small and portable that I can take with me when I go to knit club and that. Because when you're taking this, you know, your great big chunky sweater with you, you need a bigger bag, don't you? So I've only been knitting this in the house. Well, in actual fact, I've only been knitting this on a Saturday Night Live. A yellow and blue. Oh, strange colours to go together. I've done a yellow and navy one. Let me see how many stitches I've done. I've got to get 2. Shape the neck. 26 stitches. Oh, excuse me. You think it's got to be a long one? What, staying in, you mean? Staying in hospital? You thought you were coming out midweek. It's all that Blackpool wind that got you. Oh, a long night. It is if you get stuck next to people who snore. I mean, I snore, but I wear a breathing machine, so I don't snore. But I do annoy everybody when I'm in hospital with the noise of this breathing machine because it sounds like a Hoover, you know. It makes a noise. It keeps everybody awake, but I can't help it, you know. They don't put me in a private room. What do you expect? Oh, license plate. A needlework. We haven't got a needlework shop here either. We've got a wool shop, but they don't sell needlework. They only sell wool. Well, yarn, I should say, not wool. So it's no good you moving here, Enid, because you wouldn't get one here. I don't think. Well, you need to watch. Oh God, what are they called? Alex, and she's doing stitching. What's she called? Alex and her husband. She's doing cross stitch at the moment. Your family were at Affinity. We were only there. We went to Katie's for a meal last week. Yeah. No, there's no. Well, I think there's a hobby craft in Blackpool that's opened up, but I don't do cross stitch, so I wouldn't like to say whether there were any cross stitch there or not. I would imagine so. I shout. There you go. I'm wearing my gold and black bling today. Very Egyptian, yeah. Now, apart from that lady on YouTube, I don't know many people who actually do cross stitch. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. We've got 2 more to do. It's never been anything I've ever really been interested in. I think it's too slow for me. Well, I can't see anyway, and I can't hold the needle. So that's probably why I'm not interested in it. But I never was when I was younger and had eyes and had fingers. It's not something I would want, really. I mean, that lady I watch her because she gets so excited about these cross-stitching kits. She gets so excited. Hi, Ethan. I mean, I can see she gets excited. I mean, she's doing one with 2 giraffes at the moment. Huge thing. It is massive thing. No, our craft group, they're all mostly knitters and crocheters. One lady does cards, but nobody does. Oh, one lady who has learning difficulties, she does stitching on a plastic canvas, but she only does like little mats going round and round and round because that's all she can do. She can't do anything more complex than that. But she has got learning difficulties, so I suppose we should be glad that she can do that and she likes doing it. But she couldn't do cross stitch, she's not capable. But nobody cross stitches at our knit clubs. Oh, I hate Dave. Diamond painting, I cannot see. I mean, I had a lovely friend, GB Maltese. She was a really good friend, and I used to watch her, chat with her, do all her videos. Then she went into this diamond painting, and every video is diamond painting, and I just stopped watching her because it was, to me, it was just so boring. I can't see the point of these diamond stitching. You might want to do one. It's a bit like painting with numbers in it. You might want to do one. No, I've never tried punch needles. One of the ladies at one of the knit clubs I go to, she does little animals. But to be quite honest, you can't always tell what they are. You're like, oh, you're making a sheep. No, it's a cow. Sorry. Just looked a little bit like a sheep. I mean, why would you want to make hundreds of these diamond things? Where do you put them? All around your house, or where do you put them? You must get a saturation point where you think, oh God, not another picture. 2, 4. Yeah, I suppose they are bad for the environment. Yeah, plastic beads. I'd drop them anyway. They'd be all over the floor. The dogs would eat them. That's what I would imagine. The dogs would swallow them, because I'm very clumsy. Yeah, I'd send them flying. They'd be all over the place. I'm not bad enough with the jigsaw. I used to love doing jigsaws, but I can't do with bending over all the time now. It hurts my back too much. Right, repeat these until you've got 26 stitches, which I've got. Work 8 rows without shaping and cast off. All right. Yeah, I can't hold sewing needles. They just, I think I'm holding it and it's gone, you know. You're on the floor. It's a good job I don't sew anymore, otherwise I'd have pins everywhere. When I'm sewing garments together, I use those little clip things, you know, that look like clothes peg things. Because I don't use pins because of the dogs. I don't want them getting them in the paws. If I drop a pin, you know, and it lands like that, you know, it go in the dog's paws. Kind of very expensive if you drop a needle on a dog's paw. Sorry, Linda, you got deleted by accident. Have we got Nathan in tonight? Not seen him. Not seen Chris either yet. Eight rows, and then I finished this front. What have you done, Janet? You've done something wrong there. What have you done, girl? Split the stitch, that's what I've done. Right, I've got to do 8 rows now. I have to write it down because otherwise I can't remember. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My hand is killing me. Two blokes muttering. Oh, tell them to shut up. I hate mixed wards. Don't think they should be allowed. Especially if you're wearing a hospital nightgown. You're always frightened of bending over, aren't you? Showing more than you intend, if you know what I mean. I was on a mixed ward and this bloke bent over. Oh, was more than I wished to see. I see now. I never get to get to St Helens. I have to get the tram into Blackpool, and then get the bus from Blackpool to St Helens. And I did go to one craft shop in St Helens, and to be quite honest, it was selling stuff that was made up rather than. Well, everybody else might do Sheena, but we don't celebrate in the UK. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So everybody in the US would be doing their Thanksgiving, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. When I had my back operation, there was a guy in the next sort of cubicle around, and he was shouting for the nurse all bloody night long. And she said he wouldn't get out. He was supposed to be getting out of bed and walking round, but he wouldn't. And every time he dropped anything, he was like, Nurse, or Nurse, I can't reach my tissues. Nurse, I can't do this. Nurse, I can't pour me water. And I was fastened up to drips and everything, you know, and I had a catheter in. Otherwise, I'd have got up and clocked him and told him to shut up whinging. So I was so glad when he went home. I said, I feel sorry for his wife. He whines that much. All night long. I thought, I'm good. I said to the nurse, can't you give him something stronger? Knock him out. She said, oh, we're not allowed to. She said, I know what you mean. I feel like doing it. We were all complaining about it because all they did was moan. Women are a lot more stoic, aren't we? We just put up with things, you know. Men, slightest little twinge. Yeah. I mean, it's true about man flu, isn't it? It's just a cold with most men. It's not even COVID, it's just a cold. Nobody suffers like they suffer. My ex was a bit like that. Nardy. The son's gone to Spain today with a cold. I hope it's warmer over there that dries it up for him. I mean, they've had floods, haven't they, in Spain? Not where he's going, though. Hopefully. I watch a lovely lady. She does an Arab YouTube thing. She's lovely. And she was up by Todmorden and that, and they had floods. The floodder, the siren went off. And the siren hadn't gone off for years. And it was just like, you know, World War II enactment, this siren. And she asked this bloke, she said, what's the siren for? He said, flood alert. There's not that many co-ed hospital rooms, I must admit, but there used to be. It's not very pleasant having a co-ed. Because men snore like anything. And they whinge. They're walking around with all the bits on display. It's not nice when you're ill. Not nice when you're not ill. Oh, I've been on a couple. It's the last thing you want to see when you're ill. Somebody's bits flapping past. Sharp pain, sharp pain, sharp pain. Oh, that hurt. Oh, I've made my bed. I stripped my bed off. I haven't made it. Oh, that's not a nice thought, is it? Having to go make my bed before I get in it. That's just spoilt my night. You went in the maternity ward, huh? Unfortunately, I've been in hospital quite a few times, not by choice. I won't go in at the moment. I need a new hip. I need a new knee. But I won't go. I said I'll go when I have to. But there'll be a big waiting list when you need to. I said, well, I'll just have to put up with it, won't I? I don't like surgery. I'm not looking forward to having an injection in my hand. The last time I had an injection in my hand was when I had my operation for, the carpal tunnel. My God, when he injected me, he nearly had to scrape me off the roof. Gosh, did he hurt me. I only had one private room, and that was for my sleep study. I can't get shots in the spine anymore. They don't do them over here. They say it's because it's not working. It's because they don't want to pay over here. They'd rather pay for all the immigrants, wouldn't they? Oh, the relief is wonderful when you get an injection in your spine. Oh, I used to get 6 months of ache instead of pain. It was great. And then it wears off, sadly. I know what it is. It's all to do with cost because they have to do it in a theatre and you have to have like an MRI scan, whatever it is, so they get the needle in the right place. And, they've got theatre staff and everybody there. It's all to do with cost. I mean, when I went to the private hospital, it was being paid for by the NHS. But when I had my hand done, it was done at a private hospital. And I don't know how come I got onto the subject, but I was talking about the injections in my spine. And she said, oh, we do them here. And I went, NHS? And she went, no. About $6,000 or something. 6,000 for an injection. Yeah, I can afford that. That's more than 6 months' pension to me. If I didn't eat and didn't pay any bills. Stole your ice cream. Oh, goodness me. Outrageous. 'Tis outrageous. Stealing ice cream. Ray. I remember when last time I was in hospital, she said, "Would you like some jelly?" And I thought, "Oh yeah, I'll have some jelly." It was about the size of a thimble. Never seen a smaller pot in your life. I said, "They don't overwhelm you, do they?" That's even worse. That's giving you the empty pot back is worse. Yep, let's hope it is, Linda. Hope you're on the improve, and then they let you out again. It's all this bad weather. Hi, Hayley. Hello there. It's all this bad weather that's giving you all these things on your chest. A plonker is mild, yeah. I would have said something a lot more than that. A plonker is a mild insult. Like Wally, you know what a Wally. Yeah, that's a mild insult. Oh, trying to harpoon myself. There we go, finished. Finished the other front. Bit gaudy, isn't it? Bit gaudy. I've now got to start a sleeve. Oh, my hand is hurting. Yeah, no, we're not allowed to swear, not on here. Otherwise, you get blacklisted. Not allowed to play music. You're not allowed to say anything, any kind of sexual, and you're not allowed to swear or make any kind of remarks that might be offensive in any shape or form. And they have weird ideas on what that is. Yeah. Well, they wanted your hiking boots. What did they leave you behind? Or did you have to walk home in your bare feet? Right, I poured me drink. Cheers. Oh, it's freedom of speech. Yeah, we can't have that. We used to have freedom of speech. You used to be able to say what you wanted, but now, whoo, you're frightened of saying anything. People get offended. They're really snowflakes, aren't they? They get offended by anything. Sleeves, both alike. Here we are. Cast on. 34 stitches. Oh, this is the one where I don't do as much because it says you do 16 centimetres. And I thought that's rather a lot for a sleeve. And then I found out they turn the cuffs back, but I don't. So I'm just going to knit half of that amount. So how many do I cast on? 34. That'll be enough, I think. I watched a lady trying, like deciding how many tail ends. She was wrapping it round her needle, and I'm like, what's she doing that for? To see if she had enough, for cast on. And I thought, well, just leave a load to cast on because you just use it to sew in the ends, don't you? Unless you're going round and round like in a circle, I suppose, yeah. If you're going round and round in a circle, you don't need a long tail, do you, for stitching up? But I use the long tails to stitch up my sleeves with. Well, I'll be having a lie in tomorrow, especially if I've got to make my bed before I get in it. Oh, that's just ruin me evening. Bad enough having to wrangle with a sheet, isn't it? But wrangling with a duvet cover before you get into bed. Oh, I'm always doing that. Changing my bedding and forgetting to put... I've got a spare set, but I'm too idle to go and get the spare set out, so I just wash and dry one set. Like I'm poverty struck, I've only got the one set. When I took the other one off, I could have put the other one on, couldn't I? But no, she's too idle to go and get it out the... Oh, I thought, no, I'll wash and dry that one and put it back. So now I've not got it on the bed ever. Shall I sleep in the recliner? In my clothes. I've done that before today. Not intentionally, I should say. I've fallen asleep and woken up about 3 and 4 in the morning and thought, no. Hiya, Chris. Thank you. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. Oh, I just put 35 on and I wanted 34, so that was a good guess, wasn't it? Because I didn't count them as I put them on. Yeah, I was just wondering where you was. I don't think Nathan's on either. Don't know where Nathan is. Yeah, I'm a year older than when you saw me last. I feel about 5 years older, to be quite honest. I'm having a creaky day. My hand's hurting, my knee's hurting, and I've got neck ache. Apart from that, I'm fine. Yeah, he's talking to me on Facebook, so I think he's just... Oh, the cold. It's been bitterly cold over here, absolutely. I've got more layers on. You take off more layers to get in, and then you get into bed and put more layers on, don't you? But different ones, yeah. Oh, dear. Because I haven't got an electric blanket. I've only got one of those beanbag things you put in the microwave. All right, bye, Crafting It So. I keep thinking, shall I get myself an electric blanket? But then you're worried about your bills, aren't you? How much it costs, you know, if you go to sleep and forget to turn it off. I would forget to turn it on before I got into bed. That would be my problem. I'd have to set myself an alarm, you know, to go in and switch it on and then switch it off when I got into bed. I don't like being too hot in bed, but I don't like being cold. Does that sound a bit peculiar? Yeah, I like my socks on in bed, yeah. I'm scared of hot water bottles ever since one burst. And it soaked the bed through. So I went off hot water bottle cover after that. I decided I'd just stay with the bean bags that you warm up in the microwave. I've got a bean bag and I've got a teddy. It's a teddy that you heat up as well. The teddy's more for comfort because you can hug it and it's nice and warm, yeah. It doesn't exactly warm the bed, it just warms you when you cuddle it, yeah. Nathan's probably watching Come Dancing or something. Whatever it's called, Strictly, isn't it? Is that on a Saturday? Or he's an addict for that I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here and things like that. So that's probably where he is. He's probably watching that. I don't watch them, so I don't know what day they're on. I think, don't know if Strictly's on a Sunday, is it? He's probably watching something. He likes these reality shows, yeah. He sent me a little video today, so I know he's around and about. I mean, last week he might have been with his sister because his sister's birthday was the same day as mine. She was a lot younger, of course. We don't really get, oh God, itchy nose there. We don't really get snow here. I think we're too close to the sea. I don't know if it's the salt or what. Loads of other places have had snow, but not as much as they forecast. They forecasted inches of the stuff. I've been here 4 years and I've seen about a quarter of an inch of snow. We used to get snow when I lived in Prestwich because I was on a hill, so we used to get snowed in here. Or iced in because they never gritted. I used to be, well, I mean, I used to be terrible because you can't get a mobility scooter up a hill when it's ice. It's bad enough with a car. But a mobility scooter just doesn't have the grip, to get up a hill. So I used to always keep, as they say, a good cupboard. I always had a loaf in the freezer. I always had long life milk. I used to keep that in the garage because it was cold in the garage. So I always had loads and loads of tins and things, in the freezer. So I was always quite happy I could live a fortnight really, if I got snowed in. I mean, my neighbours were really, really good where I used to live before. They used to always ask me if I needed anything, because they'd have to walk up because they've got children, so they used to say, do you want a loaf? Do you want bread? Do you want anything? I said, no, fine, thank you. But if I didn't wanted anything desperately, they would have gone for me, if you know what I mean. They were great. I don't know them round here. But where I was before, they were terrific neighbours. The whole street was. Everybody was friendly. Everybody knew everybody. Spoke to everybody. You knew who they were. You knew who the kids were called. You knew all the dogs' names. I've been here 4 years. I don't know next door across the road. Don't know anybody else on the street. Not a clue. To say they don't neighbour is putting it mildly. My other house used to have a bay window, and I used to sit in the bay window, me and the dog. So I suppose we were more visible than we are here. Here where I sit is not anywhere near the window. So I don't suppose people see me here at all. I'm like the invisible woman. Yeah, I would be falling. I fall anyway without any ice. I don't need ice. I look as though I'm drunk half the time when I'm walking. I've got a very unusual gait. And I don't mean garden gait. I mean the gait as in the way I walk. I walk like I've been in the pub. I look as though I've had one over the 8 when I've not even had a drink. I'm very unsteady, let's just say. I'm sure people think I'm an alcoholic or something. Says she who barely ever drinks at all. I mean, I'm not teetotal, don't get me wrong, but I just don't drink as a rule. You know, when you go to the doctors and that, and they say, how many units a week do you drink? And I went, well, probably about 2 a month. All right, okay. Hiya, Jane. I was thinking about you the other day. I was looking through some old videos because my friends bought one of those little round knitting machines, you know, like the Addy, but not the Addy, the cheaper version. And I'll just see if I can find the picture. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I bet I sent them to her by email. Oh, I did. I sent them to her by email, so I can't show you. Doodle-doo-doo-doodle-doo. Hi, Denise. Oh, it's windy. I can hear it.
With over 7 million books from just $2.99, grab your latest read today. The hottest read.
I've done 2 other color block scarves like this. One was a Santa, one was a snowman. And so I'm not going to go.
I can't do it because it's going to show it. It's going to show a video and I'm going to get pulled for. Oh. Ooh, it's on Ravelry. If it'll let me go on Ravelry on my phone. Now I've got to log in. It won't let me. No, I'll have to show it you another time. It was a scarf that on the Addy machine, like a nutcracker. It was done like in stripes to make it look like a nutcracker. You had coffee this morning? Why do you not drink coffee? I know the feeling with arthritic hands. I've got all kinds of gadgets, you know, that help me open bottles and things like that, because I can't open bottles of water and cordial and things. Oh, you usually only drink tea? I don't drink tea. My friend only drinks tea. She doesn't drink coffee at all. But she always moans about the tea when we go to the cafe because she said it's never strong enough. So I said to her, bring your tea bag. So she did. She brought a tea bag. So when they came with her tea, she put another tea bag in. I don't drink tea anyway. Or if I do, we only like a tea. When I used to drink it, they'd be like, I know I saw that thing. Where the hell are you going to put that, Jane? A 6'5" nutcracker. God, it's like having scared the living daylights out of me. It was bad enough when I had a 6-foot mannequin. How the heck did he get that home? Was it in pieces? No, this is only a scarf, a child's scarf. That's like the Nutcracker. But I can't put it on because it's a video. And I'll get pulled if I put it on because, you know, copyright. I'll have to send it to you privately, the link. It's so windy out there. I can hear it. That usually means that the internet goes off when it's windy. So if I suddenly disappear, I'm sorry about that. Because it does go off when it's windy. I don't like the wind, it frightens me. I don't like thunder and lightning worse though. It is if you get it strong enough, Denise. I've got one now, but it's one of those where, you know, they wave the Jack Daniels over the Coke. You can't even. They wave the Jack Daniels over the Coke. 5% volume. I can't even taste it. We've had freezing cold and hail. It's been awful. And when you're on a scooter, it'll be the same for Chris on his wheelchair. You get the cold comes at you more than when you're walking. When you're walking, you're generating a little bit of heat as you're walking. This doesn't taste of anything, Sian, honest to God. You could drink these all night and you wouldn't even get merry. But when you're in a scooter, it sort of hits you in the face. Oh, my feet. I mean, I'm not as bad as my friend because I've got this front cover, you know, that stops the wind hitting me in the face. But of course, she's got the scooter that doesn't have the cover. And it blasts her. Caffeine doesn't affect me. Doesn't even keep me awake if I drink it at night. Yeah, I'm not too bad with having that canopy over. You know, it goes right like that, straight over me. I know I get rained on from the sides and the wind from the sides because I don't put the sides down. If I put the sides down, I get buffeted. I think I'm going to finish up in the sea. And also it's claustrophobic and it fogs up, so I can't see where I'm going. It needs like a fan heater or something to keep the windscreen from fogging up, and it needs a windscreen wiper, none of which my scooter has. So I don't put the sides down. Ariane goes, well, you know, I said, well, it keeps most of the rain off me from the front and from the top. But my arms get wet. And I've got a lovely, they call it an apron that goes over the top of me that keeps my legs warm. It's got a fleecy lining. It's meant more for people in a wheelchair, actually. But it keeps me lovely and warm. It fastens around your waist with like a clip thing. And it comes down. It's even got pockets in. I think they call it an apron. So you need one of those, Chris, an apron. They're rainproof and they've got a fleecy lining. It does help a lot. It doesn't help your feet, mind you, but it does help a lot. I've got a cozy thing as well that you step into and zip it up. But I don't like using that because when I get to a shop, I've got to kind of try to get out of it, yeah. This one, you step into it, it's fur, and you zip it up. And it's just like a baby has on a pram. But of course, babies don't need to get out and get into a shop. Because my scooter won't go in a shop, it's too big. So I have to step out of it and walk into a shop, usually clinging onto a trolley on wheels, a shopping trolley. Otherwise, I'm falling over. I'm a danger. I tend to, wander into the shelving, and if they're not too secure, the shelving starts rocking. These cheaper supermarkets where they're not fixed to the ground properly. I've got a vision of one of these days. It'll be like you see on TikTok or something where the whole thing goes over. Yeah. Yeah, I can't go out without my waterproof blanket on because it rains so much here. No, it won't go in the shop. It's too big. Most of the shops here are only tiny shops. They're not like American shops. They're not like supermarkets. It won't even go in the supermarket here. It's too big. The aisles are not that big. I used to go in my smaller scooter. But even then, you have to do about a 3-point turn to get round some corners, yeah. Oh, Chris. Well, at least you got a box of candy. Perhaps you had it left over from Halloween. You should have had your hair cut a bit shorter, Chris. It was the long hair that did it. She probably thought, oh, bless, he can't afford a haircut. They probably think that about me. The last time I went to the hairdressers was when my son got married. Oh, you had your beanie cap on. Oh, God. Oh, my family bought me a hat for my birthday. Wait, while you see it. I'm going to have to do something with it. It's too big. Oh, you can't see it. I can go. I can't see. Can you see it? I can't see where I'm going with it on. It's too much over my face. There's me socks. I finished them. They don't match. They're not alike. I can't see where I'm going, Chris. And I go like that to see where I'm going. I can't see. I cannot see. It is, but it wrecks your hair. Wrecks my hair, trying to pull it over my head. My friend's got one, but hers has got a little zip there. So you climb into it that way. This one, you've got to pull it over your head. When I come out of it, I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. Oh, hello, Nancy. I look like I've been skull dragged. It does keep me warm, Jane, but I'm a liability because I can't see where I'm going. In actual fact, it's too warm. I'm claustrophobic, and I feel, I want to rip it off. I'm going to see if I can cut it down the middle and put some buttons on it or something. I can't be coping with pulling it over my head. It's very claustrophobic. I've only got a small head, and it just comes too far forward. So I can't. If I turn my head, I turn my head inside the fur, if you're with me, so I can't see left or right. So I can't see the early traffic coming if I want to. Which one? The one I'm wearing, it's called Parrot, but they don't do it anymore. I've had this jacket about 15 years and never worn it. It's a long coat, actually. It's got toggle buttons on it. It's got a big, big collar. I've made loads of them. Some of them I've made. Yeah, I'm like that kid off South Park, is it? You know, that one that wears that hood all the time. But when I turn my head to look up the road, I just turn my head inside the hood. So I can't see anything. So it's dangerous. I can only see forward. So I need to alter it. As I say, I need to. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I've never worn it because it's too hot usually to wear it indoors, and it's too cold to wear it outdoors. Because it's too cold here. Too cold by the sea. What happened? The commercial came on. No, I'm just saying when I turn my head in, I just turn my head inside the hood, so I can't see where I'm going, Jane. So it's dangerous. I can only see far forward. I can't see to the left or the right. Yeah. Oh, I like colours. I like bright parrot colours. Well, that's what I'm knitting. It's quite gaudy, isn't it, what I'm knitting? I'm just a bright coloured person. I guess I'm not a grey or beige person. It's just not me at all. Do I have to decrease out on a row or not? Oh, I've got to increase, ending with the right side row. I'm not doing 16 centimetres, that's a double cuff. I like my bright colours. You know what I'm like. I like black as a base. And then bright colours. Well, my friend, her hood on her coat was like that the other day. We had to come down the seafront because she was a liability. She couldn't see anything. And I said, I'm not going down the road with you because you'll get killed because you can't see. So, no, she couldn't see. She ran straight in the back of me. Yeah. You can't see the hidey hole. Cats like to be in boxes, don't they? And hide from the world. Right, what's half of 8 centimetres? It's 6. No, half of 16 centimetres is 8. Let me get my tape measure. Oh, I can't even pick up anything with my left hand at all. I'm really handicapped with this left hand. I can't pick up anything, not even me. I just struggle to pick that up. Right, 8 centimetres. No, I've done 6. I watch a really eccentric lady. She's called Mean Queen Super Skimper. And she's made like outdoor kind of hidey holes for cats, for outdoor cats. She's a strange lady. She made herself a garden shed out of doors, out of old doors. She's a really strange lady. But you know when you like watching them because they're weird. I see Mrs. D came on. She's going to be doing a vlogmas. She's going to be doing one a day. You'd be all right, Chris. One a day. Mrs. D's doing. She's just done all her Christmas bags. I bet they're all sold out already. I was watching one of the Crafty Clegs, and she's just bought one of the furry reindeer ones, but she said she'd been trying for about 18 months to get one of the bags and never been able to get one. She's always been too slow on the button to get one. Yeah, I know. There's 39 watching now, and I've only got 27 thumbs up. So sad. People don't like me. Yeah, she's going to be starting on Sunday, Mrs. D, yeah. But all the Christmas bags, I bet they've all gone already now. But they're kind of expensive. I know they're nice, but they're out of my price range, really. I don't have that many whips anyway, so I don't need that many bags. I've got about 5. Yeah, you've got to be there at 6 o'clock. How much? About £45, some of them. I don't know how many that is in dollars. They're out of my price range anyway. I mean, they're lovely, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking them. But I just don't have that kind of money spare. Apparently, you've got to be there at 6 o'clock our time when she puts them up. Otherwise, you've got no chance, Chris. If you look the day after, they've all gone. Even if you look 2 hours after, they've all gone. She sells them out the minute she puts them up. I mean, they're lovely. They're well made. I'm not knocking her. I'm not saying they're not worth it. I'm not saying anything at all. It's just that they're out of my price range. I know my limitations. The reindeer ones she made were cute. They were like in furry fabric. She made, antlers and stuff on them. They were cute. The ones she's just done now have got like a tree on the red. And on the back they've got like bunting across and stuff. As I say, they're very, very nice, but I can't afford them. It's not high on my wish list. I've got about 2 or 3 craft bags, that I don't use, actually, because I've got nothing to put them in. I only use one. The one that's got the little sheep on. I think that came from, what's she called? Not Erin. She called Erin. I got mine from her. Can't think what she's called. She used to make loads of videos. She hasn't made any for a long time. I'm sure she's called Erin. I don't mean Erin B. I really can't think of her name now. But I haven't seen any of her videos for a long time. Lots of people who I used to watch have disappeared over time. You often wonder what's happened to them, haven't you? You and your blooming nutcrackers, Jane. Don't you ever get sick of them? I'm just trying to think of her name. I'm sure she's called Erin. I can remember her partner's name. I've got a partner, but perhaps there's more than one Chris. Yeah, that's not her. Oh. Well, Bealtine Cottage has got a new video up. I like watching her. She lives in Ireland, yeah. No, there must be too many people call that name. God, I didn't think it was such a popular name. Yeah, Bealtine. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of nowhere, though, like she is. That's too scary. Hi, Lizzie. How you doing? No, Bealtine Cottage is too much into the woods for me. She's a bit too off the grid. You love her in every minute. Of what? Oh, you're on this side of the pond. Oh, you're on my side of the pond. What, you liking the weather? We've laid on the hail and the floods, especially for you, Lizzie. You're in Whitby. Oh my God, that'll be cold. Mind the vampires don't get you. No, I like civilization. I'm not one for. My ex-husband always wanted to move to the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, no, I'm happier with town. I'm a townie. I mean, I wouldn't like to live like in the middle of Tokyo or anywhere like that, or New York, but I like being near civilization and shops. Yeah. You boys love it here. Oh, God, what Whitby? Do you like climbing all them steps? It's very hilly. You've been up to the, what do you call it, where Frankenstein was? Up all them steps, about 100 and something steps. You should have come at Goth weekend, where everybody wanders around in goth costumes. If you look it up on YouTube, they wear the most fantastic costumes when it's Goth weekend. Peaceful. It is at this time of year, I suppose. Cold. Hope you got your fleecy drawers on. You have to climb the 100 and something steps up to the top of the ruins. That's where Dracula, where Bram, whatever, wrote Dracula. Bram Stoker, isn't it? Wrote Dracula. You bought some lovely wool. Ooh. Oh, I've got me. Oh, I've done enough. I've done 8. Well, actually, I'll have to do another row because I've got to do some increasing. Now, you know what Enid will be asking you? Are there any cross-stitching shops there? Any stitching shops there? What am I doing? I'm still doing my cardigan, my chunky cardigan, because my hand's been hurting, so I've not been doing it much. Rib 2, make 1. Rib 8, make 1. Oh no, sorry. Rib 6, make 1. So it's rib 2. Rib 2. Oh, my hand is hurting. Rib 6, make 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make 1. Knitting club was cold. And there isn't one on Wednesday afternoon this week because they're going to a Christmas party. So I've got the library on Monday and I've got the evening Wednesday. But there's no knitting club on Wednesday afternoon. It's all quiet here, family are away. Including the dogs. Everybody's away. Trying to escape the horrible weather. Can't blame them. When I win the lottery tonight, you know, I'll get myself a passport and go somewhere warm. 1, 2, 3. Like I've got a fat chance of that happening. But somebody got a ticket though for 176 million and not claimed it. I don't know whether they've lost the ticket or what. Christmas party. We're going out for a Christmas dinner on the 9th. Yeah, it's very Egyptian, isn't it? You know me and my fancy necklaces. Yeah, we're going out to dinner on the 9th. Right, I just need to check if I've got the if I've got the right number of stitches on. I should have 40. It's not cold there. Blimey. Oh, I've got the right number of stitches on. A gift exchange? No. I don't think so. There's not enough of us really to do that. We've dwindled. We've dwindled a bit. There's not enough of us to do that. We sometimes do a Secret Santa when there's a load of us, but there's not many of us left. Working stocking stitch. Work 65 rows, increasing 1 stitch at the end of the 5th and every following. That's 6th though, right? Can't see. Sixth. 5th and every following 6th row. No, I don't think we're doing a Secret Santa this year. The others have just drifted off, different places. I think they just got fed up. And then it's cold, and there are, a lot of them are elderly. So we're finishing on one of them now. We're finishing now until February because it's cold and it's dark. And when you don't have a car like me, it's difficult. Just one of them things. People have drifted off in different places. Whether they'll drift back again, I don't know. It's that time of year, isn't it, when it's cold and miserable and high winds and hail, and if anybody's elderly, they just don't want to come out. Well, I don't anyway. I'm in the warm and it's lashing it down with rain outside, and I think, do I really want to go? Oh, it's dark here by about 3:30. I mean, tonight I was reading today and I had to put the light on. Only the reading light, but I had to put the reading light on about 3 o'clock. It was that dark, I couldn't see what I was reading. I thought, blimey. Put my needles away. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's an evening club, isn't it, Val? It's just too cold, wet and miserable, especially me on my scooter, Not so bad for the ones with the cars, but it's a bit cold for me. Getting blasted on my scooter. I love going, don't get me wrong. I mean, I went last week when there was only me and Sue, I like going, but gets me out of the house and, gets me chatting to people. But when you don't have a car, it's transport issues, isn't it? Ooh. One of the ladies on her YouTube I watched, Davina, she was promoting that knit thing in Blackpool, but I don't think it'll be that big because it's only in the hotel, isn't it? So I don't think it'll be that big of a show. But I want to go anyway, because I normally can't go because I've got no transport to these knitting shows and that. They're usually in Yorkshire or anywhere, all over the place. And like I say, at one time people would have been organising coach trips and things like that, but now it's not as, Yeah, when Sue lived close by to me, we used to go to the knitting shows. She used to drive me there, you know, when it was in Cockermouth and Harrogate and places. But now she's in Scotland. It's too far away for her. But there's one in Blackpool in February, so I'm hoping to go there. Oh, it's hurting my hand, this knitting. I don't know when I'm going to get an injection. He's probably forgot about me. I didn't hold much hope up because as I was leaving out the door, he said, "Which hand is it, your right hand or your left hand?" He said, "I'll arrange for you to have an injection in it." So I'm not holding my breath. He's probably forgot. I got a letter the other day and I thought, oh, maybe it's an appointment. And it was, "You haven't had your COVID jab." But I thought, no, I'm not. There is no way. Yeah, I can go to the show in Blackpool. Yeah, we're all going to go, aren't we, Val? Hopefully, unless Val's on one of her holidays again. You're not allowed to go on holiday, Val. You've got to come to the show. You've got to work your way around it. You can go on holiday before, you can go on holiday after, but you're not allowed to go on holiday that weekend. Oh, I am missing my knitting because of my hand. This would have been finished by now because it's chunky. So I've got no excuse. It would have been done. But my hand hurts so more. At the moment, yes, Munchkin. At the moment, I've got enough for another month at the moment. But there's no saying that when I go next time, they won't have them. I seem to get them for about 2 months and then I'm off them for about 6. There's no rhyme or reason. It's all the private clinics that are buying the stuff up. So there's none for the NHS. And of course, these people who make it don't have any consciences that to give it the NHS first. They go where the money is, I presume. It's like everybody else in this world, it's all money. If the private clinics are paying more than the NHS, then the private clinics will get it. That's the problem. It's the trouble with a lot of drugs, isn't it? I mean, not just Ozempic. You know, drugs for MS, drugs for cancer, it's all money. They haven't got enough money for this. It's all these flipping, well, I'm not allowed to say it, am I? All these people coming in that haven't paid into the system and getting all the health treatment for free. But you're not allowed to say that. Yeah, if I had £160 a month, I could buy it. If I had a spare £160 a month, yeah, like I have. I'm lucky if I have 160 pence left over a month, not pounds. As I was saying, I was smiling at this person who's just got monetized on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to buy camera equipment. I'm going to be able to do tutorials." And I'm like, "Oh, you wish." I've been monetized for about 8 years and I've never bought enough to get a blooming camera. Money talks. Mine's never talked. Mine goes bye-bye. It never talks to me. It's never here long enough to talk to me. Makes you laugh when you get these like emails. Have you thought about investing your money? And I'm like, what money? Excuse me, but I'm on a pension, you know. I ain't got investment money. If I had money, I'd be on a cruise. You'd be talking to me from the middle of the ocean somewhere. It's on my bucket list. It'll never happen, but it's on my bucket list. Yeah, your money says bye-bye. Mine says bye-bye. It talks to me that way. He says, so you think you've got some money? Well, here's a bill. Now have you got any money? Okay. No, you don't. In my memories, there was an article came up that I must have saved out the Manchester Evening News, and it was from about 10 years ago. And it was like gifts you can buy people. And back then, we're talking like 10 years ago, it was like you could buy this, that, and the other, and it was like about £100 and something. And I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I'm full of ideas like that. I'm full of buying gifts for £140 odd. Yeah, put that in my stocking. Yeah. I'll have a ticket for a round the world cruise. Put that in my stocking. Yeah. Bottle of perfume, £100 and odd. Yeah, put that in my stocking. Yeah. I don't expect it anymore, so I think you're a lot happier when you don't expect. It gets me when you see these people online, you know, moaning that the husbands have got them this, that, and the other for Christmas. And I'm like, you know, don't be so ungrateful. You got a present. You know, if I got one of their presents, I'd be happy. They get about 6 presents and then they're moaning. I don't like it, or it's this, or it's that. And I'm like, don't be so ungrateful. I won't buy perfume at £100 and odd. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. If I had the money, I just couldn't spend that kind of money. It just goes against the grain, you know. I don't know whether I'm tight or whether I've just got used to being frugal. It's like when I look at clothes, you know, I look at dresses, £50, £60, and I think, do you really want that? No. If it was for a wedding or something special, maybe I might spend that kind of money for a one-off, but not as a general rule of thumb. I look at it and think, 60 quid? No, put it back. Put it away. Out your price range, put it away, Jonathan. I broke my tooth. Brought a chunk off my tooth. That will cost me a bomb. I mean, that filled. I don't know what I bit, but obviously they're breaking off my teeth. Yeah, show it off, yeah. Oh, it's not in the sale, Jane, or it's not on eBay. Second hand, I don't have it anymore. I do buy some things new, like underwear, obviously, and shoes. Not that I buy a lot of shoes, but when I buy a pair of shoes, I like new shoes. And obviously I like new underwear. Anything else, I'm not that fussy. I'm not heavy on my clothes or my well, I'm not heavy on my shoes anymore because I don't walk hardly anywhere. So shoes last me forever these days. Although my boots, I could do with a new pair of boots. They are wearing out a bit. Yeah, it could have been that honeycomb Marks and Spencer. It's a chunk come off the front too. I woke up one morning and I thought, that's a bit sharp. I looked in the mirror and it's a chunk missing off the end of me too. So no doubt I will have to pay a fortune to get that filled. Seeing as we don't get NHS dentists over here. It cost me £100 and odd just to get a damn filling. As you say, money talks. It talks to me in waves. Anything I try to save up and then, like, you know, a piece falls off my tooth and I have to go to the dentist. There's always something, isn't there, you know? I'm not moaning, I'm not grumbling. Well, I am moaning, but I mean, I'm not asking for anything. It's free to subscribe to me, by the way. I don't charge. I don't have any private members. If you subscribe to me, it's totally free. Tell your friends, totally free. It is hard, isn't it, Val? Yeah. It doesn't soften even when you suck it. That sounded a bit rude, didn't it? But I'm talking about honeycomb. Oh, I can't afford it anymore. I used to do. I got into a lot of debt at one time through buying a lot of stuff from ice yarns. But at the time, I was actually making things and selling things, so it wasn't as bad. You know, I was getting some money back. But now, I mean, I'm not selling anything at the minute, and I'm not anything. So I'm not buying any wool at the minute. I might buy a skein when I go to this, you know, the wool fair in Blackpool. I always have to buy one skein or a book or something just to show I've been. You know, it's like a little souvenir, isn't it? But you see people walking about with bagfuls of the stuff, and you're thinking, how much money did they bring? I mean, don't get me wrong, you're off to York. Oh, I like York. It's lovely. It's lovely in York. But the wool shop in York doesn't open on a Sunday, so you're quite safe. Well, I don't think it does. It didn't when I went. It was shut when I went on a Sunday. It was a beautiful looking one as well. So have a nice sleep, but you won't be tempted with the wool shop in York. Yeah, people were walking around these, you know, festival things with bags full of like hand-dyed yarn. I mean, maybe they save up for a year or something to go. Maybe they do. If they can afford it, I'm not knocking it, but it's out of my price range. I just get a skein or something, I think last time I went, I didn't get any wool. I just got 2 books, which I then promptly gave away because they were the Jane Crow feet, the Persian tile type blankets. And I looked at them and thought, Janet, you are never going to do them. They're beautiful, but they're very, very time consuming. And I thought they are going to sit on your shelf forever and a day and you're never going to use them. So I sent them to my friend who has used them. But that's what I got tempted with. I think I spent about £20 getting 2 books, which I gave away. But usually I buy one skein of something. I get overwhelmed when I go to these places. You know, there's like skein, there's stall after stall after stall, skein after skein after. You start off, you go in and you think, oh, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, they're lovely. But you know you're not going to buy one because you'll come back if you want it. But then you see so many that you get I get overwhelmed. And I finish up coming away with nothing because I've just seen too much. You know, every stall's got like 100 skeins hanging up on rails and they're all beautiful. And you get to the stage where you're like, oh, that's too much, you know. I'm overwhelmed. But some things are really, really expensive there as well. You know, like little needle felting kits. I've never done it, but I thought my niece was talking about it. So I thought, oh, I'll get one for her. A little mouse, about that big it was. And it was about £25 for the kit. And I thought, no, sorry, my niece, I'm not that fond of you. Because I'm going to pay £25 for a tiny little mouse like that. I mean, Black Sheep Wolves used to go at one time to most of these shows, and they used to take discontinued lines and throw them like in a great big heap, you know, so you could pick up a pack, you know, a whole pack of it for reduced rates and prices. And I have bought 1 or 2 things from them on some. And another one we went to, there was a guy there that was selling a lot of, you know, commercial yarn, cheaper than what it was normally. When I went with Kelly, we went to the one in Manchester. It was somewhere near the Trafford Centre. And yeah, I got some wool there that was all reduced, and I was really happy with that. But generally, it's just the hand-dyed stuff. It's not the commercial yarns that's there usually. I'm having a tunnocks. If you've not heard of them, they're tunnocks milk chocolate tea cakes. They're marshmallows. I'll show you when I unwrap it. You probably have them under a different name if you're in America. Look, when I bite into it, that will all be marshmallow. It's biscuit at the bottom, like a digested biscuit at the bottom, and marshmallow at the top. I've only just started eating these again, because when Mum worked with Meredith and Drew's when I was a child, she used to work on the Saturday night, the evening shift. And these, if they're not, the machine's not set up right, the marshmallow blob goes off centre. So then they sell them off cheap. And every time my mum got a mystery box, they were always these. But they used to have jam at the bottom. These don't anymore. These are just marshmallow. So I got so sick of this and jammy dodgers. Because if the machine's off centre, it throws, before they can stop the machine, it throws several hundred out. And then they put them in a box and sell them to the staff. So for ages, I couldn't eat these. My friend's mum used to work where they made Mars bars. They were the same. She used to bring these Mars bars home. And every time you went round to her house, she said, "Do you want coffee, Jan?" "Yeah." Blooming Mars bar. Yeah, I've got loads of skeins there. Well, I think I showed them you a few weeks ago. I like to pat them. Beautiful things. They are camel hair, merino. Pat them. I like to look at them and think, oh, they're nice then. But it really, I'm thinking, what can I make? Anyway, I was watching somebody, and I wish I could remember who it was I was watching, because she made this lovely knitted shawl with one skein of, like, you know, sock yarn. It was there, only a small, knitted like a shoulder shawl. I thought, oh, that is pretty. But guess what? I forgot what it was. Mind you, I can't knit on them wormy things, so I wouldn't have been any use, would I? That's the knitting bag I use. I think you've seen it before. That's the size of knitting bag I have. A sock one is no use for me whatsoever. So I started knitting another pair of socks. But these are just ankle socks. Ooh. Ankle socks. That's the way. Ankle socks. I'm on the foot bit now. But this is so fine. It's supposed to be fingering, but it's really thin. Look how thin that is. It's like a 3-ply. Lace weight if you're in America. Yeah, that's the bag I got, I think she's called Erin. But that's my sock. There won't be a pair, because, I mean, how can you... There's no rhyme or reason with that. It's so thin. My mum knitted socks on a sock machine. She had a circular metal sock machine. I'm not talking about an Addy or something like that. She had a metal sock machine. And when she sold up, she couldn't sell it for love nor money. And I wish to God she'd kept it. You just turned a little handle like that. It's like the forerunner of these Addies and Centros. But they're made of plastic. My mum's was little fine needles. Yeah, oh, they're really expensive. I'm surprised, actually, that the Japanese have not made any, proper, what are called proper sock machines. I mean, the Addies and the Centros, they're just plain toy things, really. They're not for seriously making a pair of socks. My mum's was fine needles and it went round in a circle. And my dad put a motor on it, so... Oh, God, they're at least 500. They're probably more like 1,000, these metal machines now. Yeah, the Addies are no good. They're only meant for scarves. And as I was saying, if I could have found that I mean, there was one pattern I saw the other day that was probably done on an Addy machine. It's a centipede. Can you see it? It's a scarf. It's probably done on an Addy, yeah. Yeah, there's a German company makes these sock machines. But the old ones, you can't get the parts for them. You can't get the needles for them anymore. No, I can't find one. I'm looking for it on here. How much they cost? It's just telling me free sock patterns. It's not telling me machines. Obviously, they are so expensive, they're not even on here. It's just talking about free sock patterns. I've put on machine. Sock knitting. It's gone to sock knitting pattern. Sock knitting machine. Sock maker machine. No, it's just showing me all the Addy crap stuff. Not showing me the proper ones. You can't make socks on the Addies or the Centros. Only bed socks, yeah. Dean and Bean sock machines home. Dean and Bean. I think the Japanese are doing them. Oh gosh, that looks complicated. Prices, here we go. They're made of plastic, these. You might have gathered. Can't see without the glasses. No, they're plastic, these. They're not the metal ones. They're a bit like an Addy, but a little bit. Join me in the amazing world of knitted sock machines. Whee! Circular sock machines. No, these are the plastic ones as well. Yeah, they make some plastic ones in America. Vintage sock machines. Here we go. £1,000 sock knitting machines for sale on eBay. £995. Yep, £1,000 you can say for a sock machine. And my mum couldn't give hers away. She couldn't sell it. I wish she'd have kept it now. I do wish she'd have kept it. Hand sewn project bag. I'm no good at hand stitching. I'm fascinated by these people who make quilts, like the Amish, they make the quilts, don't they? Oh, my friend used to make them. She used to hand sew them and do them. They were absolutely beautiful. I remember her saying a lady had said, I'll offer you £100 if you make me one. She said, I can't even buy the cotton, the patches for £100. So she says, let alone how long. It'll take me 2 years to make it. She sold them all. I knew she'd sell all her bags. So yeah, Chris, you've had it. She sold them all. Yeah, these are the plastic ones, and all. They're not even the metal ones. See what I mean? My mum's was metal. I think she finished up selling it for about £20. Look at that, gorgeous. I need to go food shopping tomorrow. Got my list. Guess what I'll be buying? Fish. I love fish. That's what I'll be buying. Fish, and more fish. Fish or chicken I'll be buying. And vegetables for soup. Gonna make some soup, some nice thick vegetable soup. Where do I go for fish? Unfortunately, the fishmongers around here are very expensive. So I tend to just get supermarket fish. I'm so used to Berry Market and the bargains I used to get for the fish there. You would think at Fleetwood, because it's supposed to be, was a fishing town, you'd get fish, wouldn't you? Yeah, you can get fish. I got a piece of cod. If I'd have been more frugal, it would have done me 3 times. But I just cut it in half. And it cost me £15. Just enough for 2 meals. I thought, I'm not going there again. You'd have to make a lot of socks to get your profit back, wouldn't you, off that? I'm not a fast sock knitter. I used to like Regia 6-ply. I still can get it, I think, in a few colours. I think that Arnie and Carlos have done a few colours. But it's about £13 a skein. But they knit up fairly quickly. It's like not double knitting, but it's not. It's a bit thicker than fingering. But these socks I'm knitting now, honestly, it's like 3-ply. It's like lace weight. I'm following a pattern. And before you get to the heel, it said knit 15 rows. It would have been like that much. I had to knit 30 rows. So for the foot, it says knit 45 rows. That would be like for a baby. I should be knitting a lot more than 45 rows. Yeah, I'd make socks for myself, because you know for a fact that nobody would want to pay you for hand knitted socks. I tried knitting a pair of tube socks on my Addy. The big Addy, they were too big. On the little Addy, I couldn't get my foot in. As I said, the Addy's not meant for English yarn. It's meant for 4 yarn, you know, in America. You know, like the Red Heart or you know, that Karen Soft stuff it's meant for. They don't like double knit. The Addy machines don't like double knit. And they don't like Aran. Aran's too thick, double knit's too thin. I tried making some hats for the homeless, and they finished up like children's hats. They were too small. So I've decided that I won't get rid of my Addies, don't get me wrong. I might make a snake. on my Addy. Stripy one, you know, to use as a draft excluder. The dogs will probably throw it around the garden. I've got the big Addy and the small Addy. The big Addy, like I say, it doesn't like double knitting, and when I make a hat, it comes out for a child. And the small Addy, they're like premature baby hats in double knitting. I've got them both. I mean, the Centro, I believe, has got a few more needles on it. I think the Centro. They should make an English one for double knitting, but they don't. My friend's just bought the small one from Temu. I don't know what it'll be like, whether it'll work or not. But they should make one. They should make an English one for double knit. I'm sure people would buy it if they did. But I think the Centro's got 4 more needles than the Addy. The Addies are the expensive. I mean, they are really good. They don't jam up or anything like the Centro do. But I have to laugh at these really, really skinny TikTok influencers who make sweaters on them, and they're only about that size, you know. And they go, yeah, put it on, and they stretch it on, and it's like see-through. You can see right through it because it's so stretched. And I'm thinking, my God, I need quite a few tubes. And I watched Not Quite Enough Yarn. She made loads and loads of tubes, but then she stitched them all together to make a blanket. It was quite a thick blanket because she'd done the double tubes, not a single panel. She'd done the double tubes and stitched them all together. I wonder how she's going on. She's due an end of the month video, isn't she? But she's having chemo at the moment, so I don't know whether she's fit enough to do one. Oh, I hope she is. I like Leslie. But if she's feeling a bit rough, you know, with the chemo, then maybe she won't. But I think we'll have some to watch over Vlogmas. We've got, I think Ali's doing one, isn't she? Little Drops Are Wonderful is doing one. Alex is doing one. I can't remember the name. Alex is doing one. Not sure about Denise. I don't think she is. Stitched by Mrs. D is doing one. And I think Davina is. I never remember the names. I mean, I'm subscribed to them, but I never remember the names. I remember the Crafty Clegs, but I don't know if she's doing one or not. They'll all come up, won't they, telling me they've made them. So at least I'll have something to watch over Christmas. Yeah. Half-past 11. Oh, I've got to make that bed. Oh, really? I'm just not looking forward to that at all. Oh. Yeah, I thought one time about getting like the Centro one. So Raimi. I don't watch her. What does she do? Sewing? I don't watch the ones that just do sewing. Even the one who just do knitting, I don't really watch. I watch Ali because she does drift off into different things, but the people who purely do knitting, I get a bit bored with them. And the ones who do blankets, well, you know me and blankets. I do not watch people who just make blankets. I get so bored with that. I like crocheters really, but there's not that many who just do crochet. They tend to drift off, don't they, into different things. My fringe gone all weird. It looked all right when I combed it before. It's gone strange now. But you should see it when I take that hat off. Oh, ah. Well, like Wurzel Gummidge. Look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. It's all right wearing the hat if you're not going to take it off. But when you go into knit club, you take it off. You look like I don't know what when you take it off. I do watch Sheila, but she's getting on my nerves a bit. She's very samey, isn't she? You know, always talking about a circular needle cut in half, and bragging how many subscribers she's got. I'm getting a bit bored. I used to watch her all the time at one time, but now I'm like, I have my minutes where I watch people for ages and then I just go off them and leave them for months. I'll go back to them eventually. I used to watch Tracy. Crochet Rocks all the time. Oh, yeah, Susie's new flat. She won't have moved in it. She won't have moved in it. We might see the empty flat. But she's definitely going away for Christmas, isn't she? I watch Jo Good as well, Middle Age Minx, but she's always promoting something. AG1 or something, you know, or some clothes or other that nobody can afford, yeah. Yeah, it's the same. I'm getting bored, Denise, yeah. You wanted to do something different, go somewhere different, do something different, rather than the post office and bingo. Says me, who never does much else myself anyway. But I'm not inflicting myself on anybody at the moment. You saw a lady on Facebook, Hayley. Oh, you're sending me messages. Oh, Diane, again. Off to the slimming word ball, yeah. Oh, my hand is hurting like hell. That's the trouble. A gorgeous sweater pattern she's uploaded today. I got me, is it Simply Crochet? Priya Crochet. I'll have to look her up. I've not heard of her. You had to undo your rabbits 10 times. Make sure they weren't breeding, yeah. No, I got my magazine with it, Simply Crochet, I think it was. It's got a little rabbity thing to make. Nothing wildly exciting in the magazine, no. Nothing you would go, oh, wow, I'm going to rush out and buy that copy. Even they get very samey, don't they? At one time I used to be looking forward to getting the crochet magazine, thinking, oh, God, just they're lovely. Oh, that's beautiful. And now you're thinking, Prayer crochet. Sounds Indian. I'll have to struggle with it. I'll have to put it on though, otherwise I can't get in bed, can I? Well, we talk about different things, you know, when we come on here. You know, but when I'm doing my own videos, I used to think, oh God, I've got nothing to say. You know, it was just, I felt like I was boring everybody. Prayer crochet Facebook, here we go. I've not seen a sweater pattern yet. Seen a lot of eyeballs and hats. I haven't seen a sweater pattern. Seen piles and piles of hats. Perhaps I'm looking at the wrong one. There's no sweater on there. Met Office gives snow verdict amid reports of 168-hour non-stop blizzards. Oh, Lizzie, I hope you're not in the blizzards. No, I can't find it. Oh, Prayer Crochets, right. I'm looking at the wrong one because she's just got hats on this one. I can't look at YouTube because it'll make... Oh, my old day. Oh, my God, don't start me off about the old days, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can't switch the YouTube on because it will talk. Then I get in trouble. I'll have to look it up tomorrow, Haley. Oh, the old days. Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, the young ones today, when they said the poor, they've got no idea of it. If you've lived through the war, well, not, I didn't live through the war, I'm telling a lie. I was born at the end of the war. But if you lived through rationing, you know. I had one lady arguing with me on Facebook, and she said her doctor didn't believe that her obesity started because of rationing, because she was told to always clear her plate. And they had lots and lots of potatoes and things like that. And I'm like, gosh, she must have had more on her plate than I ever did. There was certainly nobody obese in our house. Yeah. I don't think America had the same rationing as we did in the UK. I may be wrong, because I was too young to think about these things back then. You were just concerned with what was on your plate, weren't you? Yeah, I think there's some sweaters on YouTube, so maybe that's where I need to look. But I can't, as I say, it starts talking when I put YouTube on my phone, and then I get in trouble on here because you're like breaching somebody's copyrights, aren't you? So I have to look at it later. Yeah. Yeah, I love watching the YouTube programs about the the rationing and people queuing up and things like that. I don't think America ever had it that bad. Ever had a shortage of food like we did. You know, when people are saying, I mean, I'd never even seen a banana until I was quite old. And when my mum gave me one, I didn't know what to do with it. Never seen a banana. And when we had like tangerines in our stockings at Christmas, you know, that was a luxury. I mean, kids today would laugh if you put a tangerine in their stocking for Christmas, wouldn't they? They'd think, but a tangerine was a luxury, you know. You had a tangerine and some nuts in the bottom of your stocking, and if you were lucky, you had some shiny pennies, or if you were very, very lucky, you got a shiny shilling or something like that. But, you know, it was just a novelty, and chocolate and sweets were completely on ration. I mean, I was lucky in the fact that my aunts didn't eat chocolate and didn't eat sweets. So they used to give us, me and my brother, their sweet rations. But it wasn't much. You know, the sweet ration was only about like 2 ounces of sweets a week or something like that. Oh, suet. Oh, my mother used to do everything as suet. She used to do suet puddings. They were that big. And there were potatoes, onions, carrots. And it was like shout whip when you find a bit of meat, you know what I mean? The meat was like dotted in it. There wasn't much meat. But she had to spread it around, you know? There wasn't, you couldn't go in the butcher's and order a pound of meat or something like that. You know, you just got what you got given. You had to pay, and it was on ration. I ate so many ox tongues or cow tongues when I was a kid. I still can't look them in the eye. Because my dad was a butcher, and nobody wanted the ox's tongues. Nobody, no matter whether they were on, they were off. I think they were off coupon, the ox tongues, but nobody wanted them. Yeah, and awful. Oh. Yeah, I'll have to look, Denise, later when I'm not online. Yeah, awful, everybody. Oh, God, yeah. But meat was just on ration, you know. I mean, we were lucky because my granddad, sorry, grew vegetables. So we did have cabbages and things like that. Okay, and we had eggs occasionally because, I mean, we only had 1 egg a week was the limit, and they had to have dried egg from America. But my granddad kept chickens, so occasionally he would give us like 6 eggs or something, or 3 eggs. Oh, and the only fruit I ever saw when I was a kid was rhubarb. Oh, the ox tongue is not. I tell you, if you've got nothing to eat, Haley, you will eat it, but it's not something that you would buy willingly. Yeah. Yeah, suet puddings. My mother would have dab on with suet puddings. Cheese and onion pie. And she used to make meat and potato pie, but it was like potatoes with a bit of meat, you know. She had to spread everything out. You did. When you only got a little bit of mincemeat to, you know, for 4 people, 2 children and 2 adults, yeah. Well, you see, my generation, we never ate pasta. We never ate pizzas. Rice was something you put in a pudding. I mean, these are all things that, yeah, well, I've just had eggs. I had eggs with tomato and cheese for my tea. I love eggs. They've gone away, and my son said, "What do you want me to get you?" I said, "As long as there's bacon, eggs, tomatoes, and cheese, I'm fine." I will go out and get some fish, though. I want some fish. I will buy fish tomorrow and some vegetables because I'm going to make some soup. I love thick vegetable soup, homemade. Yeah. So that's what I'll get. Yeah, well, I think Yeah, cottage pie, because we could get the potatoes, you could get the onions, but you couldn't get the meat, yeah. You know, I mean, I never went hungry as a child, but then again, our plates weren't overload. I mean, our plates weren't as big as what people eat now. And when you think there wasn't many cars around, people ran around, people walked to work, people had heavy manual jobs. There was hardly anybody sat down in an office, were there? Oh, I've not had egg soup. No, I've not done that. But I like a lot of vegetables, actually. I do like. I'm not a vegetarian, in case you're thinking, but yeah, I laugh. I still laugh at homemade biscuits. I still think I like cookies. Yeah. Oh, she's got shingles. Your mum has everything going, don't she? Your poor mum. You've won 7 guilt awards. That sounds not nice. What is guilt award? Guilt to me sounds like you're guilty or something. No? What is a guilt award? Sorry, Shad, I'm not with you. I like gilt, Gilt, you know, the gold. I think it's the Cottons that call it gilt, don't they? Gold. I want to win the lottery, not just a lucky dip. I want to win the lottery. I had my shingles jab, yeah. I was watching a lady the other day, and she's a single mum, and she'd been to one of these food banks, and they'd given her a bag with barley. She didn't know what it was. What am I supposed to do with this? She said. Second time she's had shingles, I had a jab. I had the shingles injection. I had the chicken pox. I had it twice, me. I was greedy. I had chicken pox twice. I don't like curry, but yet I don't mind dal. I used to make dal, you know, with the red lentils. Yeah, but this girl had never heard of pearl barley. She didn't know what she was going to do with it. She was saying on her YouTube, she says, give me some ideas of what I can do with this barley. And I'm like, I thought everybody knew what to do with barley. Put it in soups to thicken it, don't you? Stews. Put it in stews, put it in soups. I remember going to knit group one time when it was held in another place, and it was next to the food bank place. And there was a woman there, and she was kicking off like mad. I don't want this muck. She's going on there. And it was because they were trying to give her fresh vegetables. I can't cook this. I don't know what to do with this. She obviously wanted fast food or something. But they were trying to give her like carrots, onions, and potatoes and that. And she was kicking off and effing and jeffing, carrying on. And I'm like, I'd be happy. Somebody gave me onions and carrots and potatoes. If I was poverty struck, you know, I'd be thinking, oh, great, soup, you know. Sausage and pie. I like sausages as well, cooked in the oven rather than in. I don't like grilled sausages or fried sausages. I like them cooked in tomatoes and onions in like a casserole. I love my sausages done that way. In fact, I've got some sausage. I might do that. I'll get some tinned tomatoes while I'm out tomorrow. And I can have sausage casserole. I'll get some potatoes. I like a proper mash. Can't beat that. Let me put some potatoes on here. Can't beat a bit of proper mash. Yeah, I've got on here, I've got fish and chicken, vegetables for soup, tomatoes, tinned tomatoes, bread, potato cakes. That's what I'm going for tomorrow. But eggs, oh, I mean, baked potatoes, I can live on baked potatoes. I'm a very plain eating person. I don't like a lot of spices and stuff stuck in things. I'm just, give me a plain stew, plain soup, and I'm happy. I don't eat a lot of red meat. Not by choice, anyway. If I'm going to eat red meat, I would like a joint, you know, like a piece of meat that you cook on a Sunday, and then you slice it up like a Sunday roast dinner. That's the way I like my meat. I don't, or a really nice chop, you know. But I'm not one much for red meat. I'm not much into stewing meat or mince. I hate mince. Hate it with a passion. I only ever used to buy mince for, you know, for shepherd's pie. That's the only time I used to. And I used to buy lamb mince, not meat mince, lamb mince. I love sausages, but I don't like the ones, the fancy ones. You know, you get them with apples and you get them with all sorts, don't you? No. I just want plain, ordinary sausages. Nothing fancy. I don't want you to put sage in them and stuff in them. I like roast Yorkshire puddings, but I'm not keen on the toad in the hole. I think it's because I don't like when the sausages go crispy. No, I'm not into spicy sausage like salamis and stuff like that. Nope. And I don't like pepperoni. Pepperoni, is it called? I used to look after a little boy after school. Used to pick him up on my way home from school because his mum worked and she couldn't pick him up from daycare. And I used to say to him, "What do you want?" And he, "Oh, pizza, pepperoni pizza." He'd have it every blooming day if I'd have let him. Every day, pepperoni pizza. Bangers and mash is a bit of a mixture, yeah. Bangers and mash is traditional English or Irish, I think. Irish is more like Irish stew. They make that with lamb. Neck of lamb, usually. It's kind of a cheap meal that they used to make over the peat fires. Irish stew, they used to put it on in the morning and then go out to work. They'd leave it on the peat fire. So that's why they used to make a lot of stews, you know, especially with a lot of potatoes. When they got over the potato famine, that was, yeah. But traditionally the English or the Irish, I think, used to eat a lot of stews. It was just a cheap way of feeding the whole family when they had big families back in the day. I mean, my grandma, my maternal grandma, had a big old-fashioned black range, and it had great big metal things that we used to put them. She had a big, massive, big kettle. It was blackened because it'd been on the fire, and it was always like simmering because if anybody came, she'd push it onto the fire to make it boil. And then you'd have your cup of tea, and then when you'd finish with your cup of tea, she'd pull it out, and it was the same with the stews. She'd push it onto the cooker, the fire to be cooking, and then she'd pull it out a bit so that it'd be just bubbling and just staying warm, so that when any of the family came in, the stew was already ready. They just used to go and help themselves to a bowl. Oh, my son's like that. He calls it flavour. You've got to put spices on it. You've got to put herbs in it. I'm sorry, but I've got IBS, and anything spicy just sets me off. If I stick to plain and bland and probably boring to a lot of people, I'm fine. But I do not like spaghetti. I don't like pizza. I absolutely hate, loathe spaghetti in and pasta, any shape or form. I don't like it. To me, it's slidey and slimy. And I don't like the, tomato sauces because they've got spices and herbs in them. Tomato sauce, oh, no. No. Nope. If I ever made pasta for myself, which was very, very rare, I would like a white sauce. Oh, loads of people like pasta. My son, he likes pasta. Loads of people like pasta, Chris. I just don't. I mean, I wasn't brought up even with rice. Rice was for a pudding. I remember when I got married, at first I was asking the girl next door what she was having for dinner, and she said she'd made this, that, and the other, and rice. And I'm thinking, rice? She's eating rice for dinner. I thought it was alien to me, rice. And even now I don't really like it. I used to make fried rice, my own fried rice, but not the chippy one where they put brown stuff in it and it comes out looking brown and horrible. I used to do my fried rice, with egg and prawns and peas and stuff, onions and stuff like that. I used to make my own. I didn't mind it then. Didn't mind that fried rice when I made it. And the only time I eat pasta is when I do tuna pasta bake. I will eat it then, but I only want like spiral pasta, the little spirals, whatever they call it. Yeah. You get a package of this tuna pasta bake stuff, like whatever it's got in it. No, I can't stand. And macaroni cheese, oh my God, I could heave. I can't even look at macaroni cheese. I don't understand why it's so popular. No, I don't like the tomato taste. It back tastes on me. I don't know whether it's the herbs or what. It just gives me an awful back taste in my mouth. Tomato sauce stuff that they sell for pasta. I just don't. My son and daughter-in-law make quite a few dishes with pasta. They got spaghetti bolognese, and I hate it. Don't like meatballs. I have to eat them because that's what I get given, but I don't like them. As I say, left to my own devices, it'd be fish, and more fish. Or chicken. Oh, and I don't like curry. I'm a weirdo. I really do not like curry. I'll eat Thai curry and I'll eat jerk, but I won't eat Indian curry. Yeah, plain is me. As I say, I love baked potatoes. Baked potatoes with cheese and beans. Ugh. Nectar of the gods. That's what I love. Loads and loads of cheese. I don't want cheese waving over the top. It's got to be grilled. It's got to be melted. I mean, potatoes have got to be done in the oven. Not in the microwave and not in the, what do you call it, the air fryer. I don't mind setting them off in the microwave to soften them a bit, but then they've got to go in the oven to get a nice crispy skin. Oh, I don't like mac and cheese. I can't understand why the Americans absolutely love mac and cheese. Why? I mean, American block cheese is... it looks like a block of rubber. At least we have different kinds of cheese here that you buy, like delicatessen cheese, don't we? But that Kraft cheese stuff, I've watched some of the programmes, I'm thinking it just looks like a block of yellow rubber. I like watching the Japanese, the way Japanese cook. They cook loads and loads of vegetables, don't they? But they have such weird vegetables. I'm watching these Japanese cooking programs. I'm like, what's that? We don't even have the vegetables over here. Not even in a whatever high class kind of vegetable shop. You wouldn't even see those kind of vegetables. Oh, it's got to be a nice crispy skin on your baked potatoes. It's not going to be soggy. When people do them in the microwave, nah. As I say, you can start them off in the microwave. I used to do that, you know, to get them started from the centre so that they cook quicker. But then I would bang them in the oven. And I don't like these air fryers. I don't know what there is about them. I just don't like them. I can always taste when they've been done in the air fryer. It's like, oh, this has been done in the air fryer. Ooh. They're not the same. Roast potatoes in an air fryer are disgusting. Chips are disgusting. I'm sorry, but they are. I make my own roasties. I parboil the potatoes, rough them up a bit, and then they've got to go in lard. They do not go in oil. Wensleydale, that reminds me of Wallace and Gromit. I don't like cranberries. I'm weird. Wensleydale, yeah, Wallace and Gromit. When he finished with his lady love because she didn't like Wensleydale. I quite like Lancashire crumbly cheese. I will eat things like Edam and Gouda. And I like smoked cheese. But I don't like the ones with, I don't like blue cheese. Ooh, mouldy cheese, don't like that. And definitely don't like brie or camembert. The one that smells like wet nappies. Oh no. No. The smell of it alone puts me off. I will eat Baby Bell. That's kind of like processed cheese, isn't it? Oh dear, I want to finish my book, but I've got to go and put the bedding on. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that at all. Right, people, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go and put my bedding on finish my book, because I want to finish my book. I really, really do. Because it's got to the whodunit bit. And I still don't know who's done it. I've got kind of an idea, but I've got a feeling I'm probably wrong. Anyway, as I say, Anne Cleves, want to read her books. Great. Good read. Right, I'm going to go now, and I'm going to take my alarm off. I'm not getting up in the morning. Oh, I need to. I've got to go shopping. Oh, fizzogs. Right, people, thank you very much for your company. And it stayed on tonight, hasn't it? Way! It wasn't windy, and it stayed on. As I say, there's no rhyme or reason to my computer. No, you don't like the camembert and it just stinks like wet nappies, doesn't it? Oh, ammonia. Ooh. Right, I'm going to go. So thank you very much. And I'm glad I stayed on. Glad I stayed on. I will look up that lady later because I want to read my book. So I will look up that lady later. So bye, everybody. Oh, got hiccups now. Bye for now. Bye.